I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Dude, are you okay?
I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Five Flags Speedway, Pensacola, Florida, where tonight the iRacing Sprint Car Cup Series will have round number 11 of 12, getting ready to close out the season here in just a couple of short weeks here. My name is Chris Graham with the National Racing Network. It is a pleasure to have you hanging out with us here on a beautiful Tuesday night at the World Broadcast Headquarters of the National Racing Network here in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Practice session just wrapping up. How about 23 cars scheduled to take the starting grid here this evening? Let's pick up Jeffrey Stanton as he makes his way out onto the racetrack. Show you qualifying mode here at the bottom of the screen, and that'll tell you where some of your favorites will be running. As Jeffrey comes around to complete lap number 1, he's going to go second quick at a 15.003 seconds. 14.974 seconds, the quick time for Dan Smith. Let's get you the weather conditions for this evening, presented by our friends at the Weather Center. Offensively accurate weather information for Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. 80-degree ambient temperature, 51% humidity. Wind's going to be out of the east-southeast at 8 miles an hour, 84-degree track temperatures. A little bit on the toasty side, but overall shouldn't be too bad here. We'll pick up Brandon Wilkinson in the number 1. Going to be the highest I-rated driver in the event here this evening.
Derek Love jumping up to second quick on the speed charts as Dan Smith went even quicker on his second lap. Brandon Wilkinson going to hop up to third quick, 14.918. Ryan Sellers moving even higher just a little bit, 14.906. So we pick up Mark Reynolds in the number 21. Waiting to see the update here from Trading Paints. Make sure we got everybody correctly in their appropriate liveries for the evening. Seeing our buddy Zach Evans checking in. He is actually qualified in the 11th position right now. Yes, the little murder machines coming out here this evening. Our friends at the Weather Center checking in, asking what car is Barb racing in. No Barb. We do have a Gwendolyn, though, in this one. Let's pick up the number 19, Rich Foreman. The DRR Speedworks, Rich Foreman Photography, number 19. See where he's going to slot in here. Going to be 15th quick after lap number 1, 15.091 seconds. This field is insanely tight. How about from 15th place, Rich Foreman, to pole sitter Dan Smith, less than a quarter of a second separating these cars. Lap number 2 on the board for Foreman, just a tick slower, going to be in at a 15.09, will be his lap of record. Waiting to see Mike Lefholz, Kyle Mooney, DL Lemon, and Jason Brown take to the speedway. Give you an update on the point standings. Ryan Sellers sitting at 1,270 points in the overall standings. Steven Mastro at 1,166. Just over 100 points with 2 weeks to go. Just about having a championship wrapped up here for Ryan Sellers. Dan Smith leading the Division II points, sitting at 1,149 points. Chris Janke going to be second in Division II at 1,014. So again, pretty close to a couple of championships we might see wrapped up here this evening. Ryan Sellers has been absolutely spectacular. In 8 weeks, 12 starts, 9 wins, 10 top 5 finishes, leading 347 of 565 possible laps. Pretty spectacular season for Ryan Sellers. Steven Mastro has been no slouch. Same 8 weeks, he's got 14 starts, 3 wins, 10 top 5s, couple of poles to go along with 157 laps led. There's not a lot that's separating those two, but it's going to be just enough here. Let's take a look. Pick up Jason Brown, another of the DRR Speedworks cars. He'll be one of the last to go out here, and he's going to bump to 7th quick. 14.993 seconds. So field going to get set up into the starting grid here. Get you a look from overhead at the NRN drone. Let's get you the starting lineup for tonight's race. Dan Smith, Derek Love going to occupy row number 1. Ryan Sellers, Brandon Wilkinson on row number 2. Row number 3, Jeffrey Stanton and Jake Carter. Row 4, Jason Brown and Chris Janke. Row number 5, Austin Miller and Brian Payne. Row number 6, Joe Adams and Gwendolyn Old. Still not 0.2 of a second separating these cars. Row number 7, Steven Mastro and Zach Evans. Just getting to that 0.2 of a second mark. Ron Quinzel, Rich Foreman on row number 8. Row 9, Kyle Mooney and Josh Batista. Mark Reynolds and Jason Steinhurst on row number 10. Row 11 will have Josh Williams and DL Lemon. All alone in row number 12 will be the number 22 of Mike Lefholz. 23 cars, everybody that turned a lap in qualifications, we'll say this way, that got a lap solidly in the books, going to be within 0.3 of a second back to 18th place, Josh Batista. Mark Reynolds, Jason Steinhurst, Josh Williams, a little bit off the pace of what everybody else was doing, and then obviously DL Lemon and Mike Lefholz not getting a lap in the books. There is Dan Smith and a whole lot of DRR Speedworks, blue and lime green at the head of this field. Seeing T. Sewell checking in the comments here, saying, love these cars. It's just tough getting people to run with you. Yeah, you know what? Hopefully this has partially been some of the broadcast effect here, but participation is up. This is, I think every week this season, at least in this time slot anyway, we've had either a full field or a split, meaning more than 24 cars. Has been pretty darn spectacular here. 55 laps will be the distance this evening. Caution laps do not count. But if this thing stays clean and green, it is going to be over in an absolute hurry. That is for sure. Field going to make their way off of turn number 4. Get ready to see the green flag. And as always, race fans, the start of this one is going to be all yours. Trouble on the racetrack towards the back of the pack. Trouble for Josh Batista. Get you the Hot Shoe Racewear Instant Replay. Keep your eye on that number 15 machine as he works his way off of turn number 4. Oh, one car getting a little bit loose. Batista hard into the inside wall and absolutely ARCA braked by Mike Lefholz, and a wild ride. Josh Batista finally coming to rest in somebody else's pit box. Get you a look at the instant replay here. Let's go on board with Josh Batista. My goodness. Wild, wild ride for Josh Batista, ending up in someone's pit area. He's going to have to take the toe in. You'll see the pit stops as they occur come across the bottom of your screen. See, the lights are still on the iRacing safety car. See if we can sneak a quick word in here with Josh Batista. And, Josh, that was a wild ride. Unfortunately, looked like he got ARCA braked after coming to a stop there with what could have been a harmless little spin.
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate. I really don't got too much to say other than, yeah, it just sucks to wreck on lap 1, so.
Yeah, we hear you on that one, brother. Well, hopefully you're going to be able to get the car fixed and back out here onto the racetrack. Thank you very much for checking in with us here. We appreciate it. And going to get ready to go back to green flag racing. Dan Smith will be your race leader over Ryan Sellers, Derek Love, Brandon Wilkinson, and Jeffrey Stanton. Pace car is in. Green flag going to come back in the air. We are underway once again here in the sprint cars, and it is a great jump for Dan Smith at the head of the field. Side-by-side battle. Derek Love, Brandon Wilkinson fighting down the back straightaway. Seeing the comments, yes, already Josh Batista, he absolutely got Palmerton there. That is a perfect explanation of what went on there. Looks like everybody has actually gotten out single file here. Jason Brown having a peek down to the inside of Jeffrey Stanton. That'll be the battle for the 5th position. Brown going to be able to get that pass completed here off of turn number 2. A little bit of a wiggle there out of Stanton on corner exit. Those cars getting very, very close. Jake Carter going to try to get down to the inside and follow Jason Brown through as they get to turn number 1. Jeffrey Stanton has to run that outside lane. The one advantage to that is it will save a little bit of tire over the course of a long run. Problem is you may just lose too much track position to make that worth it. That battle continues to rage down the back straightaway. In fact, Chris Janke looking to the inside of the 94 machine of Stanton. Back in the pack as well. Here is Joe Adams coming around. Gwendolyn Old, same kind of deal. She just got hung up on the outside of the racetrack. And once you're up there, you're going to get freight trained down to the inside. Slide back up here. Pick up this fight is Jason Brown going to have to try to fend off Jake Carter. The pass is going to be tough, but Brown runs that high lane, leaves the door open. No sense racing very hard early in this race. Still 44 laps to go, only 11 complete here at Five Flags Speedway, home of the Snowball Derby. That race will be coming up here, I guess, late December. I think that's when they run the Snowball. Oh, big trouble for Jeffrey Stanton. He was way down to the inside of the racetrack. He's going to lose a bunch of spots, and he's going to have Steven Mastro all over the tail tank as they get back to turn number 1. Jason Brown continuing to run that outside lane. Mastro really going to have to get hard on the biters. One car going around, slides it into the pit area. We're going to stay under green. That was Brian Payne executing an absolutely perfect get yourself dumped into the pit area. Stanton clips that apron through 3 and 4. That may help pitch the car around a little bit, but not going to be real kind on the tires. Show you your top 4 as they've started to get away here. Going to put lap number 17 up on the scoreboard. Dan Smith over Ryan Sellers, Derek Love, Brandon Wilkinson, and Chris Janke, Jake Carter fighting for the 5th position. More trouble for Jeffrey Stanton. Get you a Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay on this one. Oh yeah, man, that car just twitchy loose on corner exit. Definitely not the way you want to drive one of these things, that's for sure. As we go back to the live look here, Brian Payne still in the pit area, now in his box. This fight's going to be a pretty good one here. Chris Janke, Jason Brown will battle for the 6th position. Yes, to answer the question, T-Soul, yes, this is a regular iRacing weekly event here. This is just the standard 9 p.m. Eastern Tuesday night time slot. One of the strongest fields you'll see anywhere on the iRacing platform will be in this Tuesday 9 p.m. time slot. We've got a mess of race cars making their way through turns 1 and 2. One car way up to the outside, lap car getting out of the way. Jeffrey Stanton going to be in the middle of this battle with Gwendolyn Old and Zach Evans. Oh, trouble, a couple of cars going around. Caution flag is out. Looks like Ron Quinsel may be involved in that one. There's Ron up against the outside retaining wall. Let's pick up Oh, yeah, that looked like some big-time net code going on there. Those cars were parked inside of each other here as we go back to the live look. It will definitely be interesting to see. Looks like Mike Lefthole is going to make his way down pit road. He will come to the attention of his crew. We'll see what kind of work they're going to do here. Front and rear work getting done on that race car. Jeffrey Stanton in his pit box as well. See if we can sneak a quick word in here as Jack goes up under the front of the car. And Jeffrey, it looks like you've got a big-time handful out there. What's going on with that 94 machine?
This thing has been pure evil all night. It's either too tight or too loose and never in between.
And it looks like you're on the too loose side here. I would imagine a pretty big swing at it from a changes perspective.
Yeah, I raised tire pressure. That's all I could do with that. Just the fuel burn. So I'm hoping that will help me. So.
All right, bud. Well, thank you very much. We'll let you get back out onto the racetrack here. Thank you much for checking in with us. And pick up our race leader here as we're going to still have at least one more lap to go. Fairly certain we'll see the caution flag, or the lights go out, I should say, on the iRacing safety car. And we do, so we're going to get back to green flag racing here. 23 laps in the books, already pushing the halfway point here at Five Flags. See where Dan Smith elects to go here. Actually, looks like we're going to go at least one more lap here under the caution flag. 3 of the DRR Speedworks cars in the top 3. Dan Smith, Ryan Sellers, Derek Love. Brandon Wilkinson runs 4th. Jake Carter 5th. Chris Janke, Jason Brown, Stephen Mastro, Joe Adams. Going to be your top 10. Now we got the lights out. Green flag goes back in the air, and once again, it is a fantastic restart for Dan Smith. As we get lap number 24 up on the scoreboard. Brandon Wilkinson hounding Derek Love down the back straightaway. He's going to be within a car length as they get off at turn number 4. Looks like Brian Payne back on the pit lane. He's had a couple of incidents so far here this evening. Looks like Kyle Mooney going to head into the pit area. Jeffrey Stanton just talked to him a minute or so ago while he was in the pit lane. We'll see how that car is going to handle, but Stanton all the way back in the 16th position. Not having a real fun time here this evening. Top 4 staying pretty much nose to tail here. Call it 3 car lengths from Ryan Sellers back to Derek Love in that fight, or the battle at least between 2nd and 3rd. Lap 28 on the scoreboard. Cross flags. We're halfway home here in the iRacing Sprint Car Cup. Penultimate race of the season here this evening at Five Flags Speedway. Coming up next week, week number 12, final race of the season will be at Southern National Motorsports Park. Back in May, we hosted a little 500 there. And I'll tell you what, Southern National is one of those tracks on iRacing that is just made for the sprint cars. That one absolutely going to be a fun race for sure here. We haven't done one of these in a little bit yet. How about we get the announcer to shut up for a minute or so, and we'll give you all a chance to crank it up. Derek Love, Brandon Wilkinson get a battle side by side into turn number 1. Wilkinson going to have the preferred line on corner exit. He'll be able to complete the pass on the entrance to turn number 3. Love going to fight back to the outside. Here comes Jake Carter. He wants a piece of the action as well. This fight makes its way back to turn number 1. Good battle back in the pack here. Another one side by side. That's Jason Brown and Austin Rich Miller. Brown up on the high side of the racetrack. Miller down to the inside. Austin Miller's put on a couple of good races here since we've seen him join the iRacing Sprint Car Cup Strength of Field broadcasts here over the last handful of weeks. This battle for third going to stay hot and heavy as well. Dan Smith loves to see this, but he's going to have lap traffic coming up in the not too distant future here. Jake Carter got it down onto the apron, a little bit of a bobble. That's going to open up the door for Chris Janke. Janke going to look to the inside off of 4. Same thing, big wiggle there out of the 13. A little bit of a tank slapper off the corner. Janke comes around. He'll get the pass completed cleanly. Carter fights back to the outside. I just don't know that you're going to get a pass completed on the outside there. Both of those cars really starting to get loose. Put Chris Janke up to position at number 5. Get back up here to this battle for third. Brandon Wilkinson, Derek Love. Now with over a second back to 5th place running Chris Janke. So the fight for the podium is going to be a good one here. Down to just 15 laps remaining. We haven't hardly shown the guy all night, but there's race leader Dan Smith, and he's opened up 1 second over Ryan Sellers. Sellers running right behind him, but not able to do much with it. In fact, 3rd place, Brandon Wilkinson, starting to catch up to Sellers. We're seeing the gap decrease. Little by little, we'll call it 3-4 car lengths down the back stretch and into 3. That other good fight, Chris Janke, Jake Carter. They're going to continue their fisticuffs into turn number 1. These are the 2 closest battles on the racetrack, and they're both inside the top 5. Oh, Wilkinson hard into the outside retaining wall. That's going to bring a caution out. See if everybody gets past. Looks like they do. But a heartbreaker for Brandon Wilkinson. Get you the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay. Let's actually back that up just a little bit further here. Watch them on corner exit here. That may have been a little bit of net code. In fact, a whole lot of net code. Those cars were side by side, but it looked like contact may have registered there. So Brandon Wilkinson, unfortunately, going to have to head from a battle for the podium back to a 19th place position in the running order. He is going to stay out on the racetrack. But that most certainly changes things here. Jeffrey Stanton, just to update that story, since we talked to him under the last caution flag, hasn't made up a ton of positions here. Stanton going to be running in the 11th position. See Ryan Sellers in the number 2. All the way down on the inside of the racetrack. He is trying to find the coolest piece of racetrack he possibly can. Get as much temperature as possible out of the tires there on the number 2. So there is your race leader, Dan Smith. He's led from the drop of the green flag after putting that car on the pole position. 2nd place running Ryan Sellers, the 2nd of the DRR Speedworks cars. The Street Side Customs, number 5, Derek Love, runs in the 3rd position. Chris Janke in the 7 will run 4th. Completing your top 5 will be the 13 of Jake Carter. Stephen Mastro, the Hoosier Tire East, number 4, currently running in position number 6. 7th going to belong to Joe Adams. Highest running Canadian driver in the field here this evening. I think Joe's from Canada anyway. Austin Rich Miller going to be followed by Jason Brown, Zach Evans, Jeff Stanton, Gwendolyn Old, and Rich Foreman. As the lights are out, we've only got a handful of laps left to go. If you like what you're seeing, give the video a like and a share. If you're watching on YouTube, we can accept super chats. Also have memberships available, just a couple of bucks a month. Green flag back in the air, and Dan Smith does it again. Great restart into turn number 1. He will hold the lead over Ryan Sellers. Derek Love holding on to 3rd, but he's going to have Chris Janke, Jake Carter all over the tail tank as they get back to 1. And we may have a battle for the race lead as we're down to 10 to go. Did Dan Smith save enough tire, or did he let the lead get too far out? Running a little bit higher lane than Ryan Sellers is. The gap sitting at a 1/4 of a second. Call it 3 car lengths as they come off at turn number 4. It'll be 7 go. Oh, big contact. They're going to wad them up. Drivers meeting turn 3. Caution flag is out. That was a huge wreck back in the pack. Keep your eye on Stephen Mastro in the number 4. Couple of cars making contact. Mastro hard into the pit attenuator. 4, 5, maybe 6 cars involved in that one. Yeah, drivers meeting turn 4, and you can't park there. Let's go on board here with Stephen Mastro. Up and over, car comes to a stop. He's going to try to get it looped back around. A little bit more contact for good measure. Working lap number 49 when we come back to green flag racing. And that crash took out a ton of contending race cars at the front of the field. That was the battle for 4th, taking out several of the cars right in the immediate vicinity. We got to get the DRR Speedworks guys into the community Discord here during the race broadcast so we can try to talk to them in race. Unfortunately, they are off on in their own team servers, so we can't talk to those guys under the caution flag here. Chris Janke, Stephen Mastro, both on the pit lane, and that will be extended pit times for those cars. Still have most of the field running, though. Josh Batista, Brian Payne, Brandon Wilkinson, the 3 cars that are being scored out of the race at this point. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing here. This one's going to be a shootout to the finish. Green flag goes back in the air once again. Dan Smith checks out. Ryan Sellers going to stay right there with him. Derek Love, Jake Carter, Austin Miller going to complete your top 5. Jeffrey Stanton back up to the 7th position. Looking to the outside of Jason Brown. Nothing going there. Everybody single file. It'll be 5 to go next time by the start-finish line. Battle deep in the pack here. We're going to keep an eye on this one for just a moment. Kind of one of those deals that cautions breed cautions, and cars toward the back of the pack may not be the best handling on the racetrack. Looks like things have settled down back here. And there's race leader Dan Smith. He gone up by a half second over Ryan Sellers, running in the 2nd position. Derek Love, Jake Carter, Austin Miller still your top 5. Everybody single filed. Down to 3 to go. One car getting up very close to the outside retaining wall. That may have been Jason Brown. Down to just 1 lap to go here at 5 Flags, and Dan Smith has things well under control. Clean and green off of turn number 2 down the backstretch, already into 3 and 4. Checkered flag is in the air. Dan Smith picks up the win over Ryan Sellers, Derek Love, Jake Carter, and Austin Miller, your top 5. Get you the race results here in just a moment. We'll get hopefully get our podium finishers into the booth here with us. That is going to be one happy man piloting that number 47 machine. Here are your race results this evening. Dan Smith getting the win over Ryan Sellers, Derek Love, Jake Carter, Austin Miller, Jeffrey Stanton, Gwendolyn Old, Zach Evans, Rich Foreman, Jason Brown complete the top 10. 11 to 15, Jason Steinhurst, Ron Quinzel, Mark Reynolds, Joe Adams, and Mike Lefholz having an incident with DL Lemon on the final lap. Going to be the last car on the lead lap. Lemon comes home in the 16th position, followed by Kyle Mooney, Josh Williams, Chris Janke, Stephen Mastro, Brandon Wilkinson, Brian Payne, and Josh Batista to complete the field here this evening. Looks like we've got everybody in the booth. So we'll get the cameras set up here and ready to go for your Victory Lane interviews. We'll kick things off here with 3rd place finisher tonight, Derek Love. And tell you what here, Derek, congratulations on the podium finish here this evening. Not a bad run there for that number 5 machine.
Thank you much, Chris. Always a pleasure when I'm talking to you. It means the whole team did well. I was very happy with that run. I hated this. I was just watching the replay. Brandon came out here. He was running real well with us. Looks like he just got a little loose on that high side. So otherwise, very happy with that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Did it register contact there? I wasn't sure if that was just kind of snap loose on exit, or if there was a netcode the issue that may have happened there.
No, I never got anything. Not even a 0x or anything. It looked like if you look at it real close on entry, I just spooked him up. We didn't touch there, and then I held my line on the bottom, and he just got a little loose on the outside. I really didn't know what happened until I watched the replay, but hopefully it joins us again sometime. It was fun.
Yeah, and this is one of those places that is definitely a challenge to get around here. It seems like you're constantly turning. No part of this racetrack is ever really straight.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And this front stretch being angled, I'm not even getting full throttle really, but maybe a couple times, and it'll very easily snap out from you. And just the team did well, and that shows there that some of us, some of the team was struggling a little bit, and they, it did best we could. Top 3 here,
All right,
top
bud.
10 for the whole team.
There you go. Congratulations on the podium finish here, bud. Who do you want to thank?
We got thank the whole team. We all worked real hard on this. Street Side Classics and yourself.
All right, bud. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate that. And with that, let's bring in Mr. Ryan Sellers here. And tell you what, Ryan, the number 2 machine looked pretty darn hooked up out there tonight, but ultimately I don't know that anybody was going to get close to Dan there.
Yeah, it was good all night. I was definitely better in the first half of the race, and then it just started getting tighter and tighter on me, which Dan had a good points night. Didn't want to really ruin that for him. He's trying to get back to second in points, so a little bit of helping a teammate out tonight.
Yeah, he had a very good run, and that is a very tight battle there. So interesting to hear that there's some teamwork going on there. Ordinarily, you guys are fighting with each other real hard. This late in the season, I guess the cards changed just a little bit.
Yeah, I think with my as big a points lead as I have, I think I pretty much have the championship wrapped up this season. So it's trying to help a teammate and get a 1-2 finish overall, and try to help Derek get up there as far as he can, and Jason and Rich too, and one of them team deals.
All right, bud. Well, congratulations on the podium finish here this evening. Who would you like to thank?
I want to thank you guys for broadcasting us, obviously, and DRR Speedworks, Dan, Rich, Jason, Derek, Leary Shock Technology, Leary Construction, and that's it. Thanks again for broadcasting. Really appreciate it.
Well, thank you much, sir. We appreciate that, and let's get the happiest guy in the building here this evening. Your race winner tonight, Mr. Dan Smith, Florida native. Spectacular driving that number 47 machine, man. You were hooked up.
Love this track, Chris. Always have, man. Makes it kind of easy, man. I want a little ego brag here, man. We set the all-time world record here in all 4 categories 2 calendar years ago. And that same exact set's what I ran tonight, which is what the iRacing default baseline's based on. So, yeah, it's just one of those tracks, man, that suit me. I like it. Obviously, Derek and Ryan like it a lot, too.
Oh, I was going to say, you guys had a pretty spectacular team night here, claiming all the spots on the podium, and then you put Rich and Jason back there at the back end of the top 10. That was a good night for the team, top to bottom.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt, man. I heard him say that just right before you grabbed me and drug me in here with you, that Rich and Ryan also, or Rich and Jason also in the top 10, man. And that's what we strive for. I know, Chris, I don't want to make a bigger deal out of the team stuff than what it really is, man. This is our bowling night. This is what we do for fun. And by God, we got us a sim racing team, man.
Yeah, you guys are a ton of fun to watch here. And how does that dynamic play out over the course of the week here? Because Ryan talked about the fact that he didn't want to screw you up. You're fighting in a very tight battle for second in points. Is that kind of an every little bit helps?
A lot of people think there's team orders here. And I think, you watch and you made a comment in one of the broadcasts as hard as Ryan and I raced each other that there was no team orders, and there's really not. But, let's make no mistake about it. I had a crap week last week and lost second place overall, and I had a pretty decent little pad and, fell to what, Chris, 4th, 5th overall, something like that. So, yeah, it was no secret that I could use the points tonight and just so happens had the car to do it. Now, with that being said, early on in the race, middle race, get to racing each other hard. That's kind of, that's just not a smart thing to do. But you get 10, 15 laps to go, man. It's every man for himself.
Yeah, looking at that points battle, it was a 17-point gap from Stephen Mastro to you. Jeffrey Stanton in the middle of that one. Jeffrey came home 6th tonight, but he had some big issues early. Steven finishing in the 20th position tonight in a very, very good strength of field race. Got to be a big shot in the arm there as we head into next week at Southern National.
Man, you said the happiest man in the room, and I was pretty happy a minute ago, but I'm really happy now. That's what you want for in this sim racing, is it not, Chris? Man, we go into the last week, and it matters. You know,
that's exactly it. We're going to have, I mean, Ryan's obviously locked up the championship, but we are going to have a very, very fun battle here for second, third, and fourth in points. And it's cool because it gives us something to talk about besides left turn. He's making a left turn.
There you go, man. It's got to get boring up there. And I may, you know, you and I got some private talks that we're doing now, and maybe I want to jump out of the car and join you next season. So I guess it's not private anymore, man. So here and there, I'll run some races, but I'd really like to join you in the broadcast booth and see if we can bring a little deeper dynamic to the car and maybe have some fun, and maybe you won't be so bored, man.
Hey, you know what? I tell you what, these sprint car races are never boring. That is for sure. They call them murder machines. They call them all sorts of things. How evil was the car out there tonight? I mean, it seemed like everybody was really having some issues.
I only had one, I guess, oh shit moment. Oh crap, I'm sorry. Moment there, and that was early on in the race, and I kind of pinched the car on the exit, and it heated the rears up, and it took about a lap and a half there to get them cooled back down. But I was a little bit worried about Ryan and Derek having a head of steam, you know, being early in the race and everybody still bunched up. But we made it through that. Other than that, man, the car trended tight, which I knew it would. Just had to open the entries up a little bit. But you know, this car, everybody complains about a hook at the end of the straightaway. And it does hook, but you got to use that to your advantage, and that's usually my lift point. Once I feel the car start to hook, I'll lift, and, you know, that's where my corner entry starts. So, you know, I don't know how to really answer your question. That was probably a little more technical than it needed to be, but this car just don't like to be overdriven, and you can overdrive the car at this track. It's like North Wilkesboro, carry a lot of corner speed here, so it's real easy to drive it in a little too deep.
Well, I'll tell you what here, brother. That was a fantastic show you put in here tonight. We're looking forward to wrapping things up next week at Southern National. But before we get there, get the sponsor plugs in. Who do you want to thank?
I'll give a shout out to my brother from another, Richard Foreman, man. You know, I've been going through some stuff over the last month and a half or so, and he's helped me through it, man. And I really appreciate it. You know, Rhino. You know, on a personal level too, man, I really appreciate those two guys here, our little Indiana connection. But teammate, you know, Jason and Derek, Keith Coons, Jason Setzer, all these guys that help me out in real life and support our sim. Big names in the sport, man, and it's not name dropping. It's just cool that they follow along the sim racing and take it just as seriously as they do their real racing.
Well, we're looking forward to it. And yeah, give a big old shout out to Keith here, because not many guys on the, I hate to say small cars, but midget 600s, the man does so darn much for this sport. So, but really thank you much, sir. We appreciate it. We're looking forward to talking to you next week.
All right, I appreciate it, Chris, and thanks, man, for the broadcast. Seriously, I say it all the time, man, but I truly appreciate you, brother.
Well, thank you much, sir. We appreciate you guys putting on a hell of a show out here. And with that, we are going to wrap things up here. Go back to the live look and show you one more look at Five Flags Speedway down here, Pensacola, Florida. Darn good racing tonight here in the sprint cars, and especially with a full field of 23 cars. Man, that was absolutely spectacular. But with that, we're going to get on out of here. We'll be back tomorrow night. The High Side Hustle. Burt Wojcik and Adam Rubright. Don't want to miss that one. I have no idea what they're going to be talking about. They put out a Twitter poll. Check them out, highside_hustle on Twitter. I think you'll be able to see who the guests may be, or at least maybe get a sneak peek at it anyway. Coming up Thursday night, round 11 of the Indy Pro 2000 Championship from Worldwide Technology Raceway in Gateway. That one's going to be a ton of fun. The ovals are always great, especially the big ovals and the PM18s. Friday night, real world racing action, Linda Speedway, Jonestown, Pennsylvania. The radio call with Casey Kreider on the call for that one. And Sunday night, the season finale of the High Slide Cup Series. But with that, we're getting out of here. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the show. We are looking forward to talking to you tomorrow night with a High Side Hustle. For everybody here at the National Racing Network, my name is Chris Graham. It's been a pleasure to hang out with you here. We will talk to you soon. Have a good night, everybody.